Welcome to Space Socket. A 37-year-old, divorced with kids, says she wants her husband back. Kevin Samuel steps in to break it down. Let's get into it.
Hello,
Hi,
how are you?
I'm fine. Can I not be on camera?
Uh,
Well,
no.
it's
Yeah,
fine. It's
yeah, you gotta be on it. You gotta be on Instagram.
Hi,
Okay.
Jen.
How old are you?
I am 37.
All right. What's the question or the comment?
Your question was, am I
Yeah,
a
what are y'all holding out for?
party of one?
Yeah, what are women holding out for?
I don't know. Um, I was married and divorced. I didn't hold out, but um, I wouldn't say that I'm holding out today. I just, after listening to you, I don't see any hope in anything.
What do you mean?
I mean, I don't know. I feel like my market value is not as high as it used to be prior to marriage. I have two children. I'm
It's
divorced.
not as high as it used to be.
Yeah,
Well, anything that ages and gets used decreases. So, that's expected though, right?
correct.
Okay,
It was
go ahead.
expected though. So
Huh? What'd you say?
I said divorce wasn't expected. So I wasn't, planning on the decline. But I guess I'm a party of one now. And I don't know like how it works or when
Who filed for divorce?
my husband did.
Why'd you guys split?
Because I didn't know how to be a wife.
Okay,
I wasn't taught.
okay. So is that a more accurate reason why you feel like there's no hope?
Yeah.
So it's not the declining sexual marketplace value or the divorce, it's you.
I think it's a combination. I mean, now that I'm learning, I've learned a lot since the divorce.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like with the knowledge that I have, it, I don't know if there's anything out there that would accommodate
Anything out there that what?
anything that would accommodate my situation. I mean, who wants to take care of someone else's kids and,
Is
do
your ex-husband married?
no, probably watching.
Then why not go back to him?
I've tried. He
But
doesn't want.
why do you think that is?
I don't think he's seen a change in me.
What's the name of your therapist?
Kevin Samuels. No, I'm just kidding. I don't have one.
You know what that is?
What's that?
The world's smallest violin playing My Heart Bleeds for You. What do you want us to say, man? You're married. You honest and said he divorced me because I didn't know how to be a husband. But then you go to the market and say I don't think there's any hope because of declining sexual marketplace value. That happens for everybody, for all women in particular. It doesn't necessarily happen for all men, but yeah, our value decreases too. But then you don't know nobody who will accommodate your situation. Yeah, the man you started your situation with. But why doesn't he want you back? Because you ain't done nothing.
I wouldn't say that.
You ain't,
I have gone to therapy. I have not in active therapy, but I
how
think
long? What's the longest continuous time you've been in therapy?
so during the marriage, closest to the divorce, I was in therapy for the last 2 years trying to, rectify the marriage.
No, no, you one on one by yourself.
I was alone with that. I was alone in that.
So
I
when you were in your marriage, you were
correct.
doing therapy by yourself.
Correct. When I saw things were going, hectic, I knew that I was doing wrong. I knew that I had a part to play, and I sought therapy. Um, and the therapist kept telling me to get a divorce, and I didn't like that. Yeah,
Was your therapist male or female?
a female. Yeah. So I went to the church.
Huh?
I went to the church after that and sought the therapy through like counsel through the church, like through ministerial counsel and stuff.
Uh-huh.
That worked out a little better, but by then it was just too late. I didn't actually, you know, go through with full therapy. He had already too much water was under the bridge and it was already over.
What do you mean it was already over?
I guess he had already had enough of everything. I mean, I stayed home with the boys. I raised the kids. You know, I did the
What did
wife.
he want you to do?
Shut up.
Why didn't you do that?
Honestly, hindsight is 2020. I don't know why I didn't do that. At the time, I didn't know why. I mean, now looking back, I was stupid. I was angry. I didn't read all the stuff that I read now, and I've been like hooked on Shahrazad Ali for the last 5 years, and you and a lot of other people that talk about these types of things and the anger inside of us at times that we get from our moms and their anger. So I learned a lot, but
But
when it was time to get him back, I mean, it's been too long. Been 5 years. He's in and out of different relationships, and then of course the divorce battle, right? That was
but
a problem.
is it he's gone on or you haven't done enough work?
I maybe both, but I've been trying. I mean, it's been 5 years. I haven't moved on, and the thing is, I'm scared of the market, right? So I'm scared to. I haven't gone back because I don't think that there's anything out there. I believe in marriage. I believe in the
Well,
oneness.
the market's out there. The market's out there, but the market's going to ask the same questions I'm asking.
I don't know.
What did you think you were going to get? I mean, I
Hurt.
mean, when you're in your marriage and being the way you were, what were you fighting for?
You know what? I don't know. I just saw my mom do it. I did what I saw her do.
Your mom was married?
No, she just fought with all of her boyfriends and fought with us. And a
Who has
part
custody of the boys?
I do.
How old is the youngest?
8.
How often do they see their father?
Not often at all.
Why?
He says he's not financially stable to see them or take them because I take all his money after the divorce. So he blames me for that. But I ask, I beg him for
Hold on.
them, and he doesn't.
What state are you in?
Pennsylvania,
Do you get child support?
I do.
Cut off the child support.
How will I be able to help take care of the kids?
See?
I need that.
Okay, cut off the child support and have actual joint custody with your ex-husband. Straight up joint. 3.5 days with you, or 4 days with you, 3 days with him, 3 days with you, 4 days with him. No child support. Listen, that would send a damn sure close signal that you're on trying to actually do something different. It would also give your boys more time with the man they need to be with, their father. If he's saying the money is draining him, well, man, cut the child support off. Move in good faith. How will it hurt your boys if you cut child support and you actually have joint physical custody with their father? To where now the reason for the money is gone because he has to pay for them when they're with him. You have to pay for them when they're with you. So there's no need for the money. How does it hurt the boys?
I understand what you're saying. It doesn't hurt them at all. But if he doesn't have a place to live, where would he take them half of the time?
So he lives in his car?
He live on somebody's couch.
Are you getting child support every month?
Yeah.
So he's on somebody's couch.
I didn't ask him to do that.
I didn't say you asked her to do it, but I just want you to understand that from the man's standpoint, ain't nobody gonna have shed one tear because you were with a man and you said it. And now after the marriage, you getting the money. And I don't want to get too deep into it, but what's more important, having a functioning relationship with your ex and having your boys with their father and having some semblance of a family, or this cold war?
I just feel like Kevin didn't ask for any. I begged him to stay. I promised. I went to therapy.
No. See, you can beg him to stay, but I asked you the first thing, what was the name of your therapist? And the problem is he hasn't seen enough change. If you, let's just imagine this happens. Let me use my Thanos powers here, shall we? Let me use my Thanos powers. Hello, Eric. Hey, this is me. Yeah. You know, I want to do something. The boys, I don't see you that often, and I know you're in this way, and you say it's on me because I get the money. So here's what I want to do. I went down to the court and I actually terminated the support order. I terminated the support order, and I want to have joint custody, joint physical custody with the boys. I give you about 90 days to get yourself together to where you have a place to where the boys can come over there. So you should be able to do that with the money you get. There's videos on YouTube right here with women who have cut off the child support, and been helpful to the ex-husband, and now they're in a better position. How does that hurt the boys?
It doesn't hurt them at all, Kevin.
So do you not think if you cut the support off, what do you think he would do?
I think he wouldn't, because I think the number would change.
Huh? So you think if you cut the child support that he would not see the boys?
Correct. We were separated for 5 years and 3.
So let me stop you right here. I want you to stop you right here.
Yes, sir.
You want to get back with the man who you said if you cut the child support off, he just keep the money and still not see the boys.
Correct.
So why you want to get back with a man with such a low character? If that's what you really believe.
I literally believed in the sanctity of marriage.
That's not what I asked. I asked, why would you want to get back with a man? Because see, there's fear here, and I'm trying to understand why you want to go back to this man. If you're saying I'm dealing with a man, if I cut the child support off and offer him joint custody, he'd just take the money and still be out of his boy's life. You don't think very highly of him.
I don't. But I still love him. I mean, I'm married, and I think that means something. I mean, I love my brother. He may not be the best person in the world, but I love him.
Did you hear what you just said?
Oh my God, damn it.
And I want you to think about what I'm about to say.
Mm-hmm.
You're in charge of raising 2 boys? And you don't think very highly of their father.
I don't tell them that.
Do you know when your children are sick, even without them telling you? Do you know when something's wrong with one of your children just by looking at them?
Yeah.
Why? Because you raised them and they're around you. Guess what? We know our mamas just like they know us. I don't know why the hell y'all think just because you don't say nothing, we don't know.
Can I say something? So we were separated for 5 years. 3 out of the 5 years, I asked for no child support. I asked for nothing. He told me, I asked him for money for food. He said, put me on child support. That's what he said.
Man, I don't care. I'm going to tell you why I don't care. Because there's 3 sides to every story. Yours isn't the truth. I don't give a shit about who shot John. You said that why are you want to get back with him. I'm trying to understand why you want to get back with a man that you don't think very highly of.
Because I was told that I'm supposed to stay with one husband until he's dead. That's what I was told. And I believe. He may be a piece of crap, but I'm
Whoa.
okay with him.
Hold on. Wait a goddamn minute, man.
I'm not a man. I don't mean, oh my gosh.
Wait a goddamn minute.
It's hypothetically.
There is no hypothetical. I don't do that over here.
I'm so
Run
sorry.
that shit on some feminist channel. Don't come call your ex-husband and the man that you created life with a piece of crap.
I'm sorry. I did not mean it.
The internet is forever. What do you think?
I didn't mean it like that. I meant like.
Oh, you meant it in a nice way.
No, I just meant it in like.
Stop.
Hypothetically.
Stop. Stop. When you're in a dick, stop digging. What do you think it's like to live with you?
Probably not easy, not fun. Some good stuff, but.
So do you think if you're around somebody who's difficult or not easy to live with, that they have an impact on your psyche?
Of course.
Do you think he doesn't love his boys?
I never said that.
So do you think it bothers him not to be around his sons?
I can't answer that.
Yes, you can, and you will.
Do I think it doesn't bother him that he's not around his sons? Nobody's stopping him from being around the boys.
Now what I asked.
Yes, I'm sure it bothers him. It would bother me.
Okay. This is everything we've talked about so far has been about you. You're the chaotic center of all of this. And if the world was balanced, he should have custody of those boys. Prior to 1945, he would have had custody.
I'm not opposed to custody. He asked.
But then you'd be paying child support.
He asked for it at one point in time, and his living situation, he gave it back. He said,
okay, ma'am. Here's what I mean. Here's the thing. There's always going to be, like I said, the market is what it is, and the market's going to look at how you handled your. Why'd you quit your last job? Did you quit or you fired? Who's your former employer? If your marriage was a job, you're not talking very highly of your job. So I'm stuck on the fact that you say he doesn't see his boys, not because he doesn't love them, because he said, you taking all the money. You said he's living on the couch. So he doesn't have a residence.
That's what he said. He's telling me he couldn't take the kids. He can't take them overnight because of my financial situation. So
he doesn't have a residence.
Have anywhere to live or have anywhere.
So what happens when the boys ask where their dad is? When they say they want to see a dad?
They don't anymore. But when they used to, I would call him, tell him, come get the kids. The kids is asking for you. They're outside. You know, we live in a neighborhood where they could play outside. He could come by.
So does he not? So, but he does have a job.
He does.
Is he paying more than $1,000 a month in child support?
He is.
More than $1,500 a month?
No, he was.
In what state?
Pennsylvania. It was included with alimony. So I got
alimony?
Child support, yeah.
How long were y'all married?
About 10 years.
Why'd you take alimony?
That's a lot. But the marital settlement agreement provided some benefits.
Did you work during the marriage?
I did not.
And for my critics and detractors, I want you guys to ask yourself a question. Men don't typically file divorce.
I did not file for divorce.
I said men don't typically file for divorce. And then you're getting alimony and child support. All right? At the end of the day, man, I can see why you're talking about the market. I don't know who'd want to deal with this in the market either. But I'm not really concerned about your dating life. I'm asking about the boys. They don't see their dad. You're saying that he says he doesn't see him because of the money, but I'm saying the two adults need to get the shit together to where the kids can see both of y'all.
I agree. I
And
ask.
if money, okay, and if money, and I'm saying, I asked a critical question. If you cut the support off, you'd think he would see the boys, and you said no. You need to answer the question why you think that is, because why don't you think he would see them?
Because he's done it in the past. 3 whole years. Whole years of not seeing the kids, no child support, have all his money, no alimony.
Where was he at?
He was right up the street, less than a couple miles away. He worked. He had his fun. I didn't bother them. I went and got a job. I went and provided. I kept the house. I kept the mortgage. I kept the mortgage paid. Didn't ask for anything. It wasn't until I lost my job or had to cut back.
So you worked. So you didn't work during the marriage.
Correct.
Did you guys have financial pressures in the marriage?
No, not at all.
Has he changed jobs?
When we were married, he had a steady job.
Right.
Since we've been divorced, he's gone through lots of different jobs.
What was his profession?
Social work.
Okay.
So he was a social worker. He worked in law enforcement. He could do that. He has a bachelor's degree in social work, but he worked.
But does he have any substance abuse problems?
Not at all.
So he was steadily employed and you were a housewife.
Yep.
But post-divorce, now you're a working woman.
Correct.
And right, wrong, or indifferent, all this is preferable to just getting along with your husband?
I tried.
Okay. You went to counseling, but I'm always leery when I hear women go to counseling by themselves. You went to counseling by yourself, then you went to Christian counseling. But at the end of the day, he divorced you for irreconcilable differences?
I don't know why he divorced me. I never read the papers. I never signed them.
You didn't ask him?
Do it. Divorce. I don't even know what the divorce decree
Was
said.
there another woman?
There were plenty of those.
No. Did he leave you for another woman?
I don't think so.
Was he still a social worker when he left you?
Yeah.
So when he divorced you, he was making money.
Yes. After the divorce, no.
You know, when he filed for divorce or whatever, he was still earning.
Correct.
Right. And the order is set likely on his previous earnings, not his current earnings.
Correct.
You haven't modified that?
So that the court didn't, because he willfully acted out in court and got himself thrown in jail, which is why he lost the job. So the judge held him to that earning, is contempt of court.
The judge so you didn't basically. So you're saying it's the judge?
The judge can hold him in earning capacity. I can't.
You can, man. The judge can't make somebody. Child support is an agreement between you two. You can decide to go cut child support off tomorrow. You can decide to go get $1 in child support.
All right, but you asked if he had an earning capacity and who held him.
Right, and I'm saying that he was earning one thing at once, and then he lost his job, and he's earning less, but his income, his child support is still set at his previous earning level.
Correct.
Don't you think it would be fair to lower that to match his current? If he's saying money's an issue.
I mean, I sacrificed we sent him to school for him to have this degree, so that I'm the one with the high school education. So why should he get lower to my income? I don't know. I don't think that would be fair.
Wow.
He has.
Y'all heard it. You heard it.
an X amount of dollar and he's
Ma'am,
choosing not to.
ma'am, so you think do you think he chose to
I know
just
for a
make
fact,
less money? You think he's just out, you think he's happier making less money?
I know for a fact he chose to make less money.
Oh my God. All right. I don't know. You know what? My bullshit meter is going all
I'm
off.
telling you,
No. I'm kind of done. I'm kind of done. Ma'am, so you want us to believe that a man chooses to go make less money for what? For what, pray tell? Why? What would be the reason a man chooses to make less money?
because he thought, like you're saying, that the court would lower the amount, and they didn't.
So you want me to believe that the support order was set at one thing, but he decided to say, you know what? I don't want to make $70,000 a year. I want to make 40, so I can pay less child support.
No, he decided to curse out the judge and get thrown into jail.
I didn't say anything about him and the judge. I said the job. I don't give a shit about the court.
That's
Because here's the funny thing. I want you guys to understand. If you've never been to family court, you don't understand how adversarial it is for men. And the thing is, there's your side, his side, and truth. I'm saying, why would a man making X decide to make less than X? What does that do to his standard of living? Increase it or decrease it?
Again, only thing I could think
What
of
would that do? Increase it or
is
decrease it?
decrease it, of
So
course.
you think he's decreasing his standard of living so he can pay decreased child support?
That's the only thing I could come up with.
That makes no
Why-
logical sense. That makes
why-
no sense. Men don't decrease their earnings to pay less child support.
So why wouldn't he work a job the same type of job he was working when we were married?
Because that's not how that always works. Look, man, that's not how it always works. And that's the problem. In the family court system, modifications go one way, up. It is rare that a man gets a modification down, even when he loses a job. I know because I couldn't get one. I know because I know many men who couldn't get one. I know because when I started in family court and with men's groups, that men can lose jobs. The economy takes a dip. The sectors are gone, but they tell you to go get 3 jobs because they make money off of it. The family court system makes money off of it. And man, if money is at the issue and you're really talking about trying to move with this man in good faith, you're getting alimony, you're getting child support set it at what his previous income was. And your theory is, well, he did all this because of his attitude despite the judge. That's beautiful when the judge is on your side. I don't give a shit that he cussed out the judge, man. Let's say that happened. You could still say, that's your daddy. He had a bad day, whatever. I don't want to lower it down. But what you said was, why should I do that? So I've already put him through. I did this for him, so child support's to pay you back for putting him through school.
No.
See, child support becomes all kind of shit for women.
Child support.
I asked you why not modify it, and I said, why don't you do? Well, why don't? Man, that's what you said.
I said he went to school. He has a degree. He's
So?
the one that was making all the money.
And
So
it was. Industries change. He's not making all the money.
the industry changed because he quit his job. When you quit a job, no one fired you. You quit your job. So what do I say when you continue to quit jobs when you see that they're garnishing the maximum allowable amount, which is 55% in the state of Pennsylvania?
55%. God damn.
And
they're
you're
supposed to
quitting
take
your
55%.
You're quitting your job to work doors, get paid.
I
However,
want you guys to understand.
I don't understand.
My critics, I hope y'all were able to listen to all of this because I know y'all were like, oh, he's wrong, and so forth. But it is all coming out. This is what men have been reduced to. Ma'am, at the end of the day, I keep asking about your boys. This is between you and him. What about the boys? Can he put his shit to the side and you put your shit to the side so the boys can have a relationship with both the mother and the father? I don't give a shit about you or him. How about them? Who shot John and who hurt who and who did what at prom? I don't give 2 fucks about.
So if I take him off of child support for 90 days or 6 months and he still doesn't get it together, then do I put him back on then at that point? How long do I?
Why are you going in? I want to know why you don't think he's going to. I want you guys to understand where the question comes from. It's a bad faith question. And this is why family court is so jacked up. Giving women leverage and access to future earnings for past relationships is crazy.
But he's done
You
it.
assuming he's going to do the worst.
He's done it before. I'm only holding
And so have you, man.
if him
We
being
haven't even talked about this shit, man, is when you were married, you were doing the worst.
all right. Well, if I'm
No, all right. No, all right. Because you said you still wanted to get back with this man. You still want it's all alive, man. Anybody can hear it.
it's fine. I understand. But if I'm held to my resume, why is he not held to his? If
I
his,
don't give a shit about your resume and his resume. What about the boys?
that's what I'm saying.
No. And see, the thing is, man, you keep going back. Well, what if he doesn't do it? So how about this? How about this then? Just like you wanted him to give you good faith, grace, and some mercy, that you had changed and give you another shot because you've done the work, right?
Because I've asked for
Excuse
that.
me. Do the same for him. Give him the benefit of that. Stop. You want him to give you the benefit of the doubt? You give him the benefit of the doubt. How does that hurt you? How does that hurt you?
Financially, it would hurt me because I'm the same money in the household. I need the money.
Man, we're not okay. It hurts you financially for how long?
I have no idea. That's the fear.
That's what I said. I said joint custody. Joint custody. That means he has the boys, you have the boys. See, this is why I go to this selfishness party of one thing. To you, this sounds right. And to me, I'm trying to figure out how can the boys end up having a relationship with the mother and father, and how can y'all get to some point of possibly a new resolution. But it's going to take you experiencing some setback too. You want him to give you a shot, to give you the benefit of the doubt that you've changed, and that would show a different thing, because the woman right here doesn't. I can see why you probably don't believe anything's changed. Because what have you done? You've gone to some therapy. Therapy is supposed to go to an action. It's supposed to do something to soften your heart, to give you some grace and mercy, to understand some empathy, to understand where people are coming from. Well, he lost his job. Well, he quit his job. And he cussed out this. Okay, so we're supposed to listen to your issues and your drama, but men can't have it. We're just supposed to keep out here steady, performing, and that's what I want you guys to understand. We are tools. We're utilities. We're not supposed to feel. We're not supposed to think. You can't make no mistakes, but they can make mistakes. And at the end of the day, man, you're raising two boys. You're raising two boys, and how they view themselves is going to be directly tied to how you view men, how you view their father, how you interact with men, whether you like it or not. So,
I love their father, and that's
this is love. This is why I say I don't give a shit about your love, people. This is what I mean. This is why I say I don't give a shit about your love. Respect. You love them, but you don't respect it. Because as soon as I said, why don't you come to him with an offer? I'm going to pause child support. I'm going to give you joint custody and cut off child support. So we split the boys 50-50, and we come up with a new way of doing this. And I'm going to give you some time to get yourself up there, because you said 90 days. I'm not asking for you, but you automatically go to, well, what if he fucks me? You mean like you fucked him?
I didn't fuck him, Kevin.
With your attitude. You said I'm talking about in the marriage. You said not being a good wife.
Unbeknownst to me, I didn't know.
Doesn't matter unbeknownst to not. That the outcome is the same.
All right, but it wasn't deliberate. It wasn't something that I did deliberately.
See, you're still going back to the fact, man. Okay. You're still going back to the fact you didn't do it. Okay, fine. Do something different.
All right.
But you know what? Never mind. That's why we started where we end where we start, man. It's about you, and that's cool.
No,
the therapy, what's the outcome that's different? Because if you can't have a different beginning with the man you start a family with, you can at least get to where you have mutual respect. You can at least get to the point to where the kids don't feel the tension. Because I don't care about your dating life or his. I'm talking about those boys. That's why the Black community is in a position it is. What are the boys seeing? How the boys, and the hard hearts of far too many women regarding their interpersonal relationship with the men. I don't give a shit about the relationship with the men. I care about the boys. You want to have a shot out here in the market? They're going to want to know, how'd you deal with your ex-husband? How your boys coming along?
Yeah, I'm not in the market. I haven't
It
tested the
doesn't matter, man. That's my point is you said you fear the market because you don't feel like there's any hope. There is not hope.
I
And there
know.
should not be hope for this kind of stuff.
You're right. You're right.
Like you
Well,
said, I didn't plan on the
right.
divorce. I didn't plan on the divorce. Well, if you didn't plan on the divorce, but you did the behaviors, you're like, well, unbeknownst to me, the man didn't divorce you after an argument. One argument. This is prolonged. But then you walked away from the marriage where you're a housewife, you got alimony and child support. His financial position has changed. And what you've told us is he's changed his financial position damn near on purpose.
He quit his job.
Damn near on purpose. And his purpose with changing his financial position was to pay less child support. Makes absolutely no sense.
Well, why would he quit his job, Kevin?
Ma'am, I don't know why somebody would quit their job to pay less child support. That means he has less money. And that's the point. And the fact of the matter, you're still trying to make it, this is how you think of him? Fine. That's why I'm going to let it keep playing, keep playing, keep playing. You're coming at this from a negative standpoint. He did it to pay less child support. That also means he has less money to live on too, right? Less quality of life, less free money, right?
Right.
Uh-huh. How's that benefited?
I mean, I don't know. He wasn't
It
paying.
doesn't benefit him. That's the point.
He
And
didn't
all
have.
he does is get further and further in behind in child support to where they garnish you for the maximum amount. The state's coming after you, and the only person who can turn this shit off is you. Because the judge ain't gonna do it. The family court system ain't gonna do it because they make money off of it. And if he is being if he's telling you the reason I'm here because I'm under financial, when men can't provide, men start to feel worthless. And men don't want to feel worthless in front of their boys. So a lot of times they feel like they're doing their sons a favor by not being around because they don't want to show a poor representation of a man. And if you can do anything to help fix that for your sons, you might want to consider that. But you got to get out of your way first. But the world ain't going to tell you this. The world's going to tell you, no, girl, you right, such and so forth. You're going to get the sister chorus and the high five and all the women. But at the end of the day, your boys are sitting around not even asking for their daddy no more. What's the cost of all that? How much that going to cost? How much therapy is that going to cost? Something to think about. There are no easy solutions in human interactions. But you can turn this off. And if it works out in the negative, you can always turn it back on, can't you?
Yeah, I can, right?
Go find out. Have a good one.
Thanks, Kevin.
I'm telling you, folks, the family court system is one that is not in favor of men.
All right, this is one of those situations where past behavior comes back into focus. Wanting a relationship back is one thing, but understanding why it ended is where the real work begins. And this is where Kevin Samuels typically shifts the conversation. He wouldn't focus on the desire to reconcile. He would focus on the reason the relationship broke down in the first place. Because if the husband is described as tired of her attitude, that points to a pattern, not a one-time issue. And patterns are what shape long-term outcomes in relationships. Now, this is where the check happens. Wanting someone back doesn't automatically mean the situation has changed. The real question is, what's different now? Has the behavior that caused the problem been addressed, or is it still present? Because in relationships, people don't usually leave over nothing. It's often repeated experiences, communication issues, conflict patterns, or lack of cooperation that build over time. And if those patterns haven't been corrected, then going back would likely lead to the same result. Kevin's approach in moments like this is about accountability, not just acknowledging the desire, but identifying the behavior that needs to change in order for reconciliation to even be possible. Because reconciliation isn't based on feelings. It's based on trust that things will be different moving forward. So the key point becomes growth. Has there been real reflection, real change, real effort to understand the other person's experience? Because without that, wanting someone back can turn into repeating the same cycle. So the takeaway is simple. If you want a second chance, you have to show a different version of yourself, one that addresses the issues that caused the first breakdown.